Bonjour, Jayak.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, Nika.
Trying to get the best lighting in here. How's everybody doing? Is it just the four of us today?
Looks like it.
I'm good, and I'm in the car, so I'm just lurking.
All right. All right. Let's see if I can get the view correctly. All right, there we go. All right. Hi, Mary Beth.
Bonjour. It's the end of my work day, so I didn't know how many people would be there for this
Oh,
event.
yeah.
I figured I'd do a little bit. I have like non-brain work, so I'm still listening and I'll pipe in, but I figured I would join in at the end of my day.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Well, we got 4 people, so that's good. It's a lot, it's definitely a crowd. So I guess we could go into intros. Does everybody here know each other? Mary Beth and Alexa, do you know each other?
We talked on the phone several years ago, but I don't know Pam, so I could.
Oh, you don't know Pam. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I know all of you and you don't know all of you. So
I know
I
Elizabeth.
hand it over to Pam then, because she's right to the right of me on the screen, to introduce yourself.
Bonjour, my name's Pam Bruman. I live in Tulsa. I'm in the drum group and I come up usually on Thursdays, but I just got diagnosed recently with Lyme disease, so I'm kind of home convalescing today. But most Thursdays you'll find me up in the garden trying to help.
Excellent. And let's just maybe at the end of what you're saying, you could say something you are growing this year or something you look forward to harvesting this year, whether it is growing or wild.
So it's been a disruptive year just because we've been working on our backyard. And in fact, day before yesterday, we had everything planned and had to develop because the city decided to come lay a new sewer line. So that was really fun. But right now, I am most excited about getting all of the berries. I've got regular strawberries, wild strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and so that's probably what I'm most excited about. This is the first time I'm able to get all of the berries. We used to have a huge elm tree that shaded the entire yard, and it died this year. While I was sad to see it go, it did open up some stuff for growing. Harvesting, I'm most excited to harvest the corn that I got from Kaya. So the last time I tried to grow it, it did not pollinate, but this year it's looking good. So I'm excited about that.
All right. Alexa, I guess you're next.
Oh, looks like we lost her.
Okay. Well, Mary Beth, do you want to go?
Yeah, I can go. Bonjour, Mary Beth Desnakas, Shoreline Deutsch via Bodowadami, Chicana, Mine, German, Nadal. Hi, I'm Mary Beth Yeager. I live in the Shoreline area, which is up by the Seattle area, so Duwamish and Coastal Salish lands. I am Potawatomi and I'm Chicana and also German descent. I'm really excited about, I've never been in the garden, so I'm looking forward to, as travel starts to open up more and more, to getting down there. We have this year in our garden here, I have a little in the backyard area, Demon. Demon is how you say it in Potawatomi. I'm very excited about that. We grew them last year and they taste amazing. And just teaching my kid and stuff like that. And my husband helps out. And we have netting around them this year because the squirrels like them
Yes,
and they eat them. So the hope is that we'll keep the squirrels away this year. But on harvesting, our corn's coming up. I found a place called, actually a friend helped me, had told me about, called the Native Sharing Garden, which is in actually the Tacoma area. So about an hour from where I live without traffic. And it brings together, it's on these Alaska Natives farm, but it's like to help with the community and learning through plants. And it's also combined with the Canoe Journey Herbalists. And so the Canoe Journey Herbalists obviously make herbal stuff and medicine for the canoe journeys, because that's what they do up here. Indigenous people up here do. And so they were offering like plant starts and stuff. And I was late getting stuff in, but they had some corn. They did that. I think you can use it as a container, like you got like a tea bag, basically. Like it was like, there's dirt and there's different types of tea in it, which was exciting. I was calling it like a tea bag, as I thought it was funny to my, and they were also medicine. So they had sage and tobacco, and it was prairie sage, and they have sweetgrass and sema in it. So that's exciting. And then I guess not literally excited about harvesting is I've been working on a project. So I do food sovereignty for what's one of the projects I do for work at the Native Nations Institute, where I'm a research analyst. So I telecommute to Tucson, Arizona, and we have been working on a project. We got funding from the National Science Foundation to talk to individuals in the Arctic and the Southwest, indigenous individuals, how COVID-19 has affected food access. And so we've completed most of our interviews and just starting to dive in the data. I'm excited to see what's there, and also giving it back to the communities and the people that we interviewed of things of planning in the future. So that's something I'm very excited about too. That was a long intro.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, the squirrels, let's see, it's the squirrels, the rabbits, and my dog that all like the strawberries, as well as my kids. My 1.5-year-old will just stand there and point into the strawberry bed and grunt, and that means he wants strawberries. Dada. Hi, do you want to say hi to my friends?
Bonjour.
Say hi. My name's Ajewa.
My name's Ajewa. I got a lava. Dada, what is this?
A lava bracelet.
A lava bracelet?
I got a lava bracelet. I know what's up.
And it glows in the dark. That's right.
Yeah, you guys gotta come see.
All right. Well, Bubba, I'm on a call right now. I will come see in 45 minutes. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. So strawberries are a hot ticket for everybody, not just people.
Yes.
Other than that, sounds like everybody's got their gardens going good. And any questions on gardening? Otherwise, I can just kind of give an update. Pam, I already know that you know how it's going, but Mary Beth hasn't been to the garden this year yet.
Yeah, go ahead and give an update, and then we can.
All right, so we have, let's see. In the garden, we have 20 raised beds, and then 5 other areas that are kind of row crops or rows of beds. The 20 raised beds have a mixture of stuff this year. We're still dealing with deer. The deer are very hungry, and they like to try anything. So they're even eating things that I didn't think they would previously eat, like tomatoes and potatoes and things that, if you look at the botany of it, it's pretty toxic. So, and then it's not the fruit, it's the plants. They're nibbling on the plants. So we have 4 beds of cherry tomatoes. They're actually 2-bite tomatoes, so they're a little bigger than cherry tomatoes. And those are the Annie's Sugar Gem. I'm really looking forward to them. They have a whole lot of fruit set right now, and they're probably about 3.5, 4 feet tall. I do the trellising method with my tomatoes, so they're vining tomatoes, where you kind of trim off all the side branches and get one long, nice stalk going. And I always grow indeterminate varieties, so the fruit will just keep on coming throughout the season until the frost hits and kills them. Our Sema is doing amazing. Man, it is. We had a really cold, wet spring, except for this week. This week it's been insanely hot already. But previously, for 6 weeks before this, it was really cool and wet. So the Sema is like, geez, it's like 4 feet tall right now. And each leaf is like probably as big as a dinner plate. It's amazing. So our tobacco is doing crazy good. We have chamomile, which I'm also really excited about. The deer have not touched the chamomile or the tobacco, so they're staying away from our medicines, which is why I planted most of the plants I planted, because I thought hopefully they would stay away from the medicines. And then we have ground cherries, or gooseberries, they're called, Cape gooseberries or Peruvian gooseberries. Those would probably grow really well up by you, Mary Beth, if you could get some starts going. They're these little kind of
Orange.
orangey red, orangey yellow. They're kind of they look like a cherry tomato, but they're kind of, they have none of the flavor. They taste kind of like a cross between a cherry and I don't know. They're kind of like a tart cherry, I guess, but a juicy like a tomato. And then we have our corn. After many years of not being able to grow Potawatomi corn, I chose to grow a Chickasaw variety this year to see if I had better success with that. It might be my location, and maybe that's the reason, because we're on the top of a hill, kind of really exposed on some rocky soil, clay soil. So maybe that's it. And maybe, Pam, I know Pam's growing Potawatomi corn, and I've given it out to a bunch of other people around Oklahoma. So I'll be interested to see what other people's success rates are. And because I did grow it at home one year, and it did pretty good. So I think it might just be the location of the community garden that we're in. But the corn is doing really well. It's probably knee high. Let's see, I wonder if I took some photos today. Oh yeah. Here, let's see if I can do a screen sharing. Screen sharing. Oh, there it is. All right. Hold. Oh no. Okay, can you all see this? Let's see, come on. Yeah, that's our corn. It's about 3 feet tall right now. And
That's
it's doing great.
2 feet taller than it was the last time I saw it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it is. It's like you can almost hear it growing. It's growing so fast right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's and we planted this. Let's see, when did we plant this? Me and Tracy planted it on the 19th of April, which was the absolute soonest that we could plant it, even considering that it was going to freeze that week, but it was just one night and it was a really light frost. So I think the seeds obviously survived. And it's loving it. And then let's see.
What's
The
Potawatomi word
Alma
for
West is
corn
blooming.
again? Sorry.
What's that?
What's the Potawatomi word for corn again?
Madaman.
Midaman.
Yeah, what is The miraculous seed. So min or men is fruit or berry or seed,
Mhm.
and Mada is like wonderful or miraculous, and that's talking about and maybe Pam can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I remember that is talking about its ability to feed people and how quickly you can feed a lot of people with corn, because one, if you had one corn seed, theoretically you could get a whole cob that would have 700 kernels in there, and from that you could have 700 plants, and then from that you could have, it multiplies exponentially. So I think I calculated it once, and it would take like 5 years starting from like 12 or 13 seeds to get 200 acres or something like that. So you could get a whole lot of seed off of corn, and the seed of course is the food. And it's not like most people think about corn when the summer green corn, or not the green corn, the summer sweet corn. This corn, the flint corn, is a winter food. It's a prepared food. You nixtamalize it with wood ash or lye, and then you can make soups and masa and all kinds of stuff out of it. And so, yeah, great word to know, Madam. Thank you for the question. The very first Amoesh is blooming. I'm so happy. Like I said, it's been a slow, late year, and but it's what, the end of the first week of June, and we have some bee balm blooming, so everything's not too far off. And this is another wonderful plant. Do you know much about this plant, Mary Beth?
I do not.
So this is Amoesh, Wabenowesh, Anakwesh. All those words are different words for the same plant. And it's a wild bergamot, bee balm, and Monarda fistulosa is its Latin name. And it's a good cultural plant for teas, for medicines, for ceremony. So
It attracts pollinators.
it's a great pollinator plant. Man, we have a row of this in the middle of the garden, and in the summer, when it's all in its glory, you can just hear the buzz of the bees and the other pollinators coming around. Yeah, it is a wonderful plant.
Is that one that grows wherever, or?
Its range is really large. It grows from like Florida to Maine, Florida to Ontario, and grows all the way. I know it grows all the way into like Colorado and Wyoming and stuff, but I'm not sure if it spans the Rockies. So you could look though, USDA plants, they have a range map. Hey, that's good. Let me look. Monarda fistulosa. Let's see where. I know it. I know I could find it. Range map. There it is. Oh, no. Well, no, it goes up into the Cascades. So
Okay.
it goes into the, here. You know what? I'm sharing my screen. Oh no, I'm only sharing the photos, aren't I? Anyways, it goes all the way up into the Cascades in Eastern Washington. It doesn't go across the divide, it looks like, but it does go east of the Rockies because it's in Utah and New Mexico and Arizona. So, but yeah, it's a very good plant. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll have to suggest it because my parents live east of the Cascades over in
Oh,
Oregon.
okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, and it, like I said, it grows from Texas to Canada, so you can get a variety that's that's cold hardy or warm tolerant, you know. Oh, and then the wild licorice is also blooming. And that's another mint family one. And I actually don't know its Potawatomi name. I wonder.
Is
I'll have
it
to
like
look them up.
black licorice or red licorice?
Oh yeah, it's also called Anise hyssop.
The black-
Uh, yeah, black licorice. No, it's not cherry or like strawberry licorice or anything like that. No Aussie licorice. just the good old black stuff. But it is a wonderful plant, and it's good for your belly. You know, it's good for all kinds of stuff. And the pollinators go crazy over it. Those little purple, the bumblebees especially, in the morning time, they'll be like mobbing the little purple flowers you see there. And this is just beginning, so it gets a lot more flowers on it. Those little spikes get probably about 3 inches tall. They're only about half an inch tall right now. Let's see. So that's that. And then, we have, I don't know if you've seen on Facebook, but we have rows and rows of prairie sage growing that Pam helped me plant with some other people, and has graciously taken weeding to. And so that's going to be part of, well, I don't know if we'll get a good harvest this year. But anyways, theoretically, we're going to offer it to tribal citizens who request a bundle free of charge. So it'll be a kind of a service or a program that we're going to do. And that kind of stemmed from the inability to grow a lot of food crops, because of the deer and stuff, the other animals, the skunks and possums, raccoons. And because we're on tribal lands, of course, we're not like allowed to hunt or anything. And I think I think they would frown upon putting a rabbit trap out or something, So kind of had to shift over to growing other things that we could. I got elderberries, and the deer are even eating the elderberries. It's crazy. Elderberry leaves are supposed to be really toxic. They're like, but I guess, a deer stomach can handle it. They just munched all the leaves off the sides of my elderberries. So very perplexing. Those are some hungry deer.
Yes.
I guess I don't feel bad for that. Or I should feel bad for them because they're eating things that aren't normally palatable. Yeah. And what else?
I have a question real quick. Do
Yeah.
the deer just hang out in town because they know that like their bigger predators aren't in town? Where I grew up, that's what was common, was that they would hang out in town because their predators weren't there.
Well, like we're in between Shawnee and Tecumseh, so
Mhm.
we're kind of like in a little bit of a urban rural interface area. So there's a whole lot of places for them to like hang out and bed down. But then because of all the agriculture and everything, there's not a whole lot of places for them to eat. And so I think they're just coming to the garden to snack. And right specifically around the tribal complex and stuff, they're doing a lot of like mowing and land clearing and stuff. So that's kind of creating a situation where they used to have X number of acres, and now they only have a small fraction of that to browse from. So that's what's going on there. It's my guess. And then also maybe it's just that they've got comfortable, after so many years. This is the fifth year the garden has been up there. So maybe they just know that there's good stuff up there.
Yeah, it's free buffet. It's
Yeah.
their buffet.
Yeah. Luckily this year I didn't plant things that I know they go crazy for, like okra and what else? Beans. They love beans, fresh bean shoots, pea shoots, all that kind of stuff. they go crazy for that. And that's the update, I think. Oh, we're going to be doing, so are you all aware of festivals coming up? Virtual festival?
Yes.
Yes. I think it's going to be like, there's going to be like a website with videos and workshops and stuff like that that's going up the whole week in 2 weeks. And I'm doing four classes, I think. So if you're
So
interested in,
I saw your classes in the agenda. Did they just recently add them?
you didn't see them?
No,
Hmm.
because I signed up for a whole bunch, but I don't remember seeing.
Well,
I saw one.
yeah, they're not like, I'm not offering, like we didn't prepare anything to ship out, to make. It's just a presentation really. Like we made some videos and it's just me talking.
What are the presentations you're doing?
One's on white sage, on prairie white sage. One's on tobacco. There's a Three Sisters talk. And then the last one, they just finally finished it today, or was it yesterday? It's a spring foraging plant walk, virtual plant walk. So all the usual suspects in there, nothing super extraordinary, but it was a well done video on their part. They strung my rambling together to make it coherent. Yeah. And then there's like, I think there's probably like, morning ceremony or something like that. Probably, I think there's a drum. Is the ladies' drum doing something?
Yeah, they recorded that yesterday morning. I
Okay.
couldn't come for it because it was Wednesday morning. I was at work, but they recorded that, and Justin did like a part of the morning ceremony, and he did
Okay.
some too.
Okay. Yeah. I think someone told me about that. And then I think the men's drum is also doing something. I'm sure the language department has a lot going on, but it's we're doing our best with the situation that we were given. So should be as exciting as possible after a year and a half of Zoom calls and conferences and all that kind of stuff. I know I'm getting kind of sick of Zoom.
Yeah.
But it's the way things are nowadays.
I haven't heard anything about whether the gathering is going to have a virtual
No.
component this year.
Yeah. All I know is that it's definitely not in person. But I know that they did schedule their powwow for September. Hannahville did. So they rescheduled from, I guess it was gathering until September. So maybe that's because they didn't want to do both at the same time. I don't know. It's also, that community is so small. It's like 400 people.
Yeah, and they've relinquished it, right? It's going to go next to Gun Lake.
Is it Gun Lake? Or is it Nottawasepi?
No, it's Nottawasepi. Nottawasepi.
Yeah, it's Nottawasepi then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have, because that's the second year in a row that they weren't able to host. I don't blame them either. I mean, that's a really small rural community, and that's a lot of people, big event to host. And are they like a casino tribe? I'm sure they have some kind of gaming, but
Sure.
they're not like Forest County with the Milwaukee, or any of the other Michigan bands with the huge gaming operations.
Yeah.
I know that much.
Yeah, it's wild to see. Like, I don't know if they still do it. Remember, like, because when I lived in St. Louis, obviously they play the Milwaukee Brewers, and just to see like Fire Lake Casino. I don't remember what their casino is called, but whatever it was, I was like,
Yeah.
know that, like,
Yeah.
oh gosh, like in the ball field.
Firekeeper. I think that's what it is. Firekeeper.
That's what it is. Yeah. It's Fire
Yeah.
something. Yeah. Fire Lakes, I guess ours. Ours is Fire Lake.
Ours is Fire Lake. Yeah. Hey, Bubba, I'm still on the phone. I'm still on the phone.
Dada, you forgot to say.
Okay. I'm still on the phone. Hey, please go talk to Edgy. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're fine. I mean,
That's what happens when you're.
This is us, so, you know,
work. I know, but they're gonna record it and put it up. So shh.
oh yeah, this is getting recorded. I forgot. I was gonna say too. I don't know if either one of you watch Rutherford Falls, but the main actress, because I follow her on social media, she's native, and apparently her cat, or this time both her cats have like shown up every time she does like a press call or something like that. Showing up in the-
that's great.
They know.
yeah, they're mugging the camera for her. Is there a hope someday to do like a food festival or food gathering like in September, like a feast thing?
Uh, you know, maybe someday. I would die to be able to have something like that around here. But at this point, it those events take a lot of investment. Let's just say that. They take a lot of investment, and it takes pretty much shutting down whole industrial kitchens and taking them over. And there's no, besides the Grand, I can't think of any venue that even comes close to the size that we would need. It's a pretty large endeavor. Um, you know, not impossible, but it would take some investment and sign off from a lot of different people. I mean, I think they'd have to close down the Grand Kitchen for probably a week to get that done. Um, the other places that have done it, like Meskwaki or Gun Lake or those other places, they have like multiple kitchens. So if they shut one down, it's not the end of the world. They also have places that are like dedicated community kitchens, which we don't have here. We have the Wick kitchen, but it's like the size of my kitchen. It definitely couldn't handle more than maybe 2 or 3 cooks in there. And that's saying a lot. So, I would love to be able to plan for that, but I don't, like, there's not any talk about it, unfortunately, from like logistical or planning side. After Pokagon, what was that, 2 years ago? Me and a bunch of other Oklahoma folks got together and started a kind of a Google spreadsheet and like a list and we did a little bit of initial organizing around it, and we kind of just got bogged down in the whole like complexity of it all. I think it would have to be at like WinStar for the Chickasaw, or Choctaw. I know have a big casino that they could probably spare some rooms and some kitchen space and stuff like that. But then you get into like the politics side of things, and then that's where it gets messy. Like everybody tries to one up each other, and I don't know. And probably I'm not the right person to be organizing it, because I haven't been around here much. And, I don't know all of the different tribal governments. I don't know who's who and like all that. But I know that someone else did, what was it, last year? No, it was fall of 2019, at the Intertribal Agricultural Annual Meeting. There was a question about that. Are we going to have a food summit as a Southern Plains region? And again, it kind of just went round and round, and it kind of died out. I think the first step would be is securing a location, securing a location, getting kitchen space nailed down, the location nailed down, housing nailed down. Not only that, but then you also have to think about supplies, like who's going to supply the buffalo, who's going to do the elk, who's going to provide the 1,000 pounds of corn that you need, you know? And it's that kind of stuff that unfortunately is, at this point in Indian country, it's a bit of a bottleneck. You know, there's only so much of that stuff going around, and usually it gets taken up in the community. So how getting around that takes somebody with a little bit of, I don't know, car salesmanship attitude, and then also like the right persona, and you know, the right person to get it all pulled together and done. I think the Great Lakes folks have it dialed in because they have like Glyphwick, you know, they have the Great Lakes Wildlife and Fisheries Commission. So that's already like a concentrated, well-established, organized body to kind of go off of. But down here, I don't think we have anything like that. Unless, you know, Native Nations Institute wants to sponsor us or something.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, but no, I was curious because I was thinking, because in the Southwest you see that a lot, or they get together, or
Yeah.
I know, like over like Tepary beans, because that's a big
Right.
food there and stuff, and so yeah, it makes sense. The Great Lakes, and also you have the like more tribal colleges. I was just curious. You answered it, like if Oklahoma was going to do something or does anything, but it makes, yeah, since we're all kind of got put there all together in a lot of ways, I'm still trying to like navigate all of that, but.
Yeah, our foodways and lifeways are so different. You know, like you have pretty much every region of the country in Oklahoma in terms of culture and foodways. So it's a little hashy, you know, but it's possible. It's totally possible that someday it could happen. So yeah, keep talking about it, telling people about it, you know.
Okay.
That's all it takes, and eventually it'll take someone will be the brave one to say, I'll be the backbone of this.
That'd be awesome. Hopefully someday.
Someday.
I guess I'll keep,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll keep asking.
And you know, as far as like a community feast, I think they had those back in the 80s, 90s. I don't know why they stopped. My guess is something political, but who knows? Maybe it was like a you know, logistical thing, like they just didn't clean up after themselves too many times or something. They got the boot. I don't know though.
Yeah, because we have them for Region 8. We just get them catered. So
Okay,
local native caterer.
nice.
But it's only in Seattle or Portland, but we're
Right.
a huge district because Kearney's in Olympia.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, like when I lived in Colorado, they had an annual meeting there, and I think we just got like Subway sandwiches or something. I don't even know what it was. Can't remember. It wasn't that memorable. But like, you know, I don't think they were trying to make the food memorable. I think it was just the whole meeting was they were trying to work on, not that specific aspect of it.
So we got a fourth person.
Oh, hello. I'm Kaya Deerenwater. I'm the community garden manager, and kind of in charge of this right now. And you are Muhammad? All right, shy folks. Anybody else have anything to say?
Thanks for all the work you both do. in the garden.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. It's thank Pam. She's a dedicated volunteer today or this summer. And we have had. Oh, I'm getting an intern. That's really cool. I'll have someone to boss around. Hopefully, I won't be up there getting heat stroke by myself.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I've got 2 garden beds now that I finally got dirt delivered and we were finally able to put in. And I want to plant them, but I'm not sure kind of what to plant this late.
Mm.
You know, because usually for fall stuff, I wait until like mid-July to end
Yeah.
off. Any thoughts or suggestions on that?
So, well, I guess what would you hope to plant? What were you planning on planting?
Well, I was hoping to do just vegetables, you know, some tomatoes or peppers, but you know, at this point, I'm kind of like, could I still do beans? Or is it going to get too hot for them to produce?
I would, if you were going to do beans, I would wait until July.
Okay.
And then I would only, then I would only plant the green beans or the shelling beans because you don't really have enough time for them to dry. So yeah. Since you're in Tulsa, there's a Facebook group called Green Country or Green County Gardeners, and they do a lot of like heirloom varieties of stuff specifically for eastern and northeastern Oklahoma. And yeah, they talk about growing. I remember one post that was talking about beans, and they said you can put beans in as late as July 15th. But they again, they each have like their production is kind of peaked at certain times, and then it's kind of, it wanes down. So depending on what you do, but yeah, for beans, I think my guess is you could still plant tomatoes if you want to water them. It's not too late. They're and then things like watermelon and stuff would go crazy right now in the heat. What else? Peppers, like if you get pepper starts from the store. But yeah, it's probably too late to do lots of things from seed.
Yeah.
Definitely too late to do things like lettuces and stuff.
Oh yeah. Those are already harvested.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, did I give you any ground cherries or the gooseberries?
Oh my gosh, those gooseberries, they're huge. I mean, they're this big around each one, and I
Yeah.
have.
Oh wow, okay. So you don't need any more of those.
Oh my gosh, they're like the Sama, you know, it apparently is a great year for the Cape gooseberry or the Peruvian ground cherry because
Yeah.
they're amazing. I'm looking forward to those because I haven't grown them before.
Yeah, I just saw the ones in the garden have their little yellow flowers. So probably about a month or maybe 6 weeks before you get your first harvest.
Yeah.
And last year I planted them kind of late and they were pretty slow to take off. And it seems like to me they have kind of a like successional fruiting where it's like 1 or 2 will fruit and then it'll be like a day or so and another 2 will fruit and it'll be day. So, but they do store well. Like I've stored them in the fridge for like 6 weeks or something like that. So if
I'm
you
using for recipes, so I'll share anything I get.
all right. Excellent. Yeah, other than that, I don't know. Let's see. I can check my handy dandy planter map. Let's see. Where are we? We are in June. Ooh, do you have any amaranth? You could plant that.
Oh, I do have amaranth.
Yeah.
Okay.
That actually does it only germinates in like I think 75 degree or above soil temperatures.
Yeah, okay, that's a great idea. Thank you.
Basils? Do you have any basil?
Did
Uh,
plant a whole bed of basil because we're pesto lovers here.
okay. Buckwheat. Do you grow buckwheat at all? Cantaloupe, melons. Do you grow melons in June? Catnip, peppers.
I'll have to get some more catnip from you.
Okay. Yeah, there's there's like 6 flats of it.
I know.
Comfrey.
It out.
Comfrey. What else? Let me see. June.
Not actually.
Gourds. Do you have any gourds?
You know, I think you gave me some gourd seeds, but I have not planted them. Can you plant them from seed or do you need to start the plant?
No, you could plant them. They're like super warm season ones that again it's like 75 degrees or something that they need to germinate, like amaranth. And
That gives me lots of ideas. Thank you.
okay, yeah, I could keep going. That's only 2 pages of 3 pages. But if you need any more ideas, you know how to get a hold of me.
Isn't 75 cold for Oklahoma this time of year?
The soil temperature.
No, I'm teasing. I know.
75 is freezing, and it actually was only 75 until this week. And I was talking with some friends up north, and they were like, it's 90 degrees in the UP for like a whole week straight. It was 90 to 100 degrees. They hadn't had rain in like 3 weeks or something like that. So they stole our temperatures, our weather, and we stole theirs because it was like overcast and cool and misty.
Yeah, it's 93 here right now.
It was like 97 here.
Yeah, no, it's hot. Like it's always funny to talk to colleagues just because they tend to have like, it's more summer this time of year because they're in the Sonora desert. So
Yeah.
like tank tops or whatever on.
Yeah.
And I've just acclimated so much to living here. I'm like, it gets to get to 80 and I'm like, it's so hot. Even though I've lived in way hotter places, but yeah.
Yeah. I used to go up to Seattle every summer to visit family and friends. And it's always interesting. It's such a mixed bag, in July, you could get a few days that were nice and sunny, or you could get rain and cold fog for the whole week.
Yeah, we usually have the June gloom. We don't have it right now, but we had it over the weekend. Right now it's sunny, but yeah, so we get a June gloom usually with rain. Yeah, it's been weird to acclimate because I remember it went like in the summertime. I remember just being grateful when it finally rains and it was like an overcast and I was like, what is wrong with me? So I grew up in the high desert in Oregon, so.
Oh, okay. On the eastern side then?
Yeah, we actually grew up in Central Oregon because we're snobs and we don't consider ourselves Eastern Oregon. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's a weird thing.
I don't know. I know that every region has their own geographic naming system, but don't know.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. Most of Eastern Oregon is trying to join Idaho right now, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've actually, some counties have voted on it. It's just they don't want to be in a blue state.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do that. Is that like what's it called? Jefferson State? How Northern California?
There's signs for that everywhere, like in Eastern and Southern Oregon.
Silly Chimokman.
My question was, what happens to the reses? Like, do they
Yeah.
get to pick what state are they going to get full sovereignty?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. No, this is really informative. Thanks for doing it. So they're usually recorded. I can't make the next one, so.
Yeah, yeah, they are recorded. I don't know where they're put actually. I think they're put, if you go to the CHC and you go to archives and videos, it's somewhere in there. But it's on the CHC website. You know how they like redid the CHC website,
Yeah.
the museum, and actually the whole
Is it into the,
org got redone. What's that?
is it into the cultural part?
Yes, cultural, and then archives, and then I think that's the path.
Okay.
And you could, they are on YouTube, so you could look up like, I forget if it's CPN Cultural Heritage Center or if it's like Community Garden CHC or something. But just if you look it up, you can see it. And if you really want to know, I can find it for you.
We can figure it out.
I could use the Google.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Justin from Language has, I've been working with him to do some plant kind of plant profiles, if you will, for some of the medicines around here.
One, that was good.
The what?
Saw the one on Curly Dock.
Yes. Yeah, that was, I think that was one of the first ones we did.
Mhm.
There's also one on Yarrow, I think.
Okay.
Then there's definitely one on Sema, and he's linking all of these to the dictionary. So if you like go into cultural context on the dictionary, there's supposed to be something on there. I don't know. That's his deal, not mine. So he handles that. But yeah, should be fun next time around. I don't know what happened the first one we had, there was like 8 or 9 people. I know it's kind of crazy right now being summer and all, and 6 o'clock in Oklahoma. I know there's a few folks in Oklahoma that I was looking forward to touching bases with, but c'est la vie.
Well, and drum's going on right now. It's from 5 to 7, so it interferes, which is why this is the only one I've been able to make.
Well, I didn't think about that, Pam. They just said suggest a day, and I was like, I don't know. The second Thursday. I said, okay. But there's always something, you know.
There will always be something.
So,
So you just do it when you do it.
yeah.
Right. Well, miigwech.
All right. Miigwech, Jayek, Bamamina.
Mama P.